Hello, my dear and amazing friends. Welcome to the Rocketa podcast, where we explore the vastness of human ideas, dreams, and aspirations. I'm your host, Alexander Marfunen, and today, as a matter of fact, we've got more than one guest. We've got three guests. So, we've got Jason Tsoli. How are you? We've got Marcus Harrison,
Hello.
our new guest. And we've got Bryce Sheja.
Yes, sir.
From our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I ask you, how are you all doing?
Good.
Solid, yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Solid.
Yeah.
How are you?
Great man, great. A lot of assignments, but apart from that, fantastic. Moving forward.
Great.
So guys, anything coming up? Any events or anything happening in your life?
I'm going back home.
Home back to Greece.
Back to Greece in a week. So I'm gonna miss you guys.
Aww. Excited for that, man?
Of course, bro.
Yeah? What are you excited
yeah.
about? With going back?
Just going back, you know. Going back, go out.
Yeah?
Finish those exams first, though. You know? Finish them.
Consider it.
Stressful times.
2 exams, though. It's fine. It's gonna be alright.
It's fine. Although I did hear, I don't know if you heard from Ahmed in the last labor law seminar, literally yesterday, that apparently you can do an alternative. You can basically demand essays now, and then you don't have to do you don't have to do the
Exam.
Yeah, you don't have to do the exams. You're just given.
I think it's because you need to have some.
Extenuating circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot just ask for it and they're gonna give it to you. I think he's done something. Like,
Aurora.
he's found a way,
Yeah.
a loophole. And he's done that.
Not necessarily a loophole, alright?
I don't know.
Like, it just means that there's something that stopped them from being able to do the work that they were supposed to do for the semester in the way that they were supposed to do it for the semester. So they're basically saying like, hey, can I make up for that credit that I might have missed in this way? You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Just to give everyone a chance, you know?
Because if it was our way, everyone would have done it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But like, imagine getting sick in like September or something like that, getting really, really sick in September, so you miss so many classes from September to October or something. Like.
Oh yeah, in that case, definitely it would definitely be worth it. 100%. Guys, so all of us study law. How are we finding it so far?
It's really good though. I like it. But I think it's been getting a bit more
Difficult.
complicated.
Yeah.
What about you, Marcus? What do you think?
I'm enjoying it. I find it interesting. I think it's very useful, and it's going to be very important for the future.
Yeah, for the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah.
Whereas it is getting more complicated and a bit more difficult, but it's to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Nothing is easy in life, innit?
Oh yes. What about you, Bryce?
I don't know, man. I thought there would be more arguing in law classes, you know what I mean? I assumed that there would be more arguing about the law than just, you know, some professor yelling, or not yelling, but some professor saying, like, this is what's the case, and then all of us just having to agree with it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, I see what you mean. I feel like all of us went into law with certain expectations, and some of them were satisfied while other things were not satisfied. So I feel like that's completely normal. Disappointment is a part of life.
Yeah, like ADR, bro. We thought we were gonna do some mediation and arbitration stuff. We're not doing any of that. Just learning about arbitration. And
Well, just purely the law.
yeah, just the law. I thought we were gonna be doing actually some.
This is why you guys should have done international human rights, man. You know, we're sitting there learning about people with disabilities and stuff like that, while you guys are learning about the theory of arbitration. Come on,
It's
man.
very good, it's very good.
No, it's not.
It's
Don't
the
lie
future.
to me.
It's the future of law.
I mean, to be honest, it is a rather big area.
Yeah.
We can still do it on the 4th year.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I could still do that in the fun. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna pretend.
Still can do that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
We gotta pass those exams first. and then
Oh
those exams.
yeah.
We got time until next year.
Oh, definitely.
Let's enjoy this year first.
Oh yes. So guys, have you followed up on what's happening in the political world? As you know, Donald Trump was elected president. So guys, what are your thoughts? Because didn't he appoint Elon Musk to be like some department's person?
I think it's
Some-
something to do with energy efficiency or something like that.
No, it was government efficiency. It's even dumber.
Oh.
It's even dumber because like putting a random billionaire in charge of government efficiency is basically like saying a lion is in charge of the sheep. All he's going to do is eat all the money that he can, in my personal opinion.
Well, is it like a new position? Is it like a new position, or what's the deal with it?
I'm pretty sure it's made up because the acronym is DOGE, isn't it? Or something, Department of Government Efficiency. So the acronym is DOGE. I don't see, Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or any, major legal or governmental mind coming up with that, if I'm being honest. It sounds like something some 14-year-old came up with in their basement.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about it is that I knew that Donald Trump's gonna win. It was obvious. It was obvious since.
Same.
Yeah.
I just feel like Harris. I feel like she didn't have enough time to actually gain like a solid reputation as a president candidate, because when was Harris switched? When was Harris switched with? When was Biden switched with Harris? If I'm saying it right.
I think it was like a few months ago. Apparently, a lot of Americans didn't even know that they'd switched. Like, a lot of them were asking who was running at the time when they went to do their elections and stuff. But, yeah, no. I personally think that she would have lost regardless, though. I think that Americans aren't particularly well-versed in reading and stuff. And so because of that, they're not, like, necessarily going to elect the most well-versed in reading and stuff. The more complicated words the person uses, the less likely Americans are to elect that person, historically speaking, I would say.
Yeah, but Biden didn't use any of that.
Yeah, but Biden was, competing against a pedophile, so, like, I don't know.
Who was he competing with?
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. What?
I don't even pay attention to it, you know what I mean?
To be honest, it does come down to the more simple the language is, the better. The more people can understand what's going on, and that's what Donald Trump has provided. He just simply simplified everything, and
Yeah. I think also though the propaganda played a massive part. Like especially it's like scrolling on TikTok and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
Like I'd see stuff for Donald Trump and it's just like it makes him seem like some sort of like savior or like some sort of hero or something like that. And like especially after the assassination attempt where he like put his fist up in the air and stuff like that, it kind of painted him as some sort of like strong and like a person to take charge even under fire, stuff like that. And then also stuff like there's a lot of propaganda about how like Harris, I'd see videos about how she'd do interviews and then they'd ask her a question but she'd completely change it and she'd like it was like a cut, like the clip had been cut. So it's like we couldn't really see the full context, but it made her seem as if she didn't know what she was talking about, or she didn't want to answer that question, or she didn't know how to answer the question. But then it's like you could do the same for the other side's propaganda, where it's like Trump's a convicted person, been convicted, he's all this, he's a paedophile, he's done all these bad things, he's like a racist, and like his policies are this, they're that, and it's like I think propaganda's played a massive part, and I think Trump's propaganda was like clearly much more effective, because I think people in America are all about like that kind of be better and be stronger and be like above everyone else.
It's like a tug of war.
Yeah, I think that, like, politically anyway.
Yeah. So it's like essentially it's like a media war.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
100%.
Like nowadays we no longer fight in actual wars. Well, although I know there are wars going on, but nowadays it's more or less a war of information.
Yeah, it's less
Economical
physical.
wars.
Less physical, definitely. It's more psychological. It's more about trying to split the people,
Yeah,
make them go against each other.
Do you guys think the assassination was made up?
What do you mean made up? We saw it happen.
I mean,
No, that it was like all
stage.
all planned.
I think a little bit of it was planned and then a little bit of it wasn't, right? On one end, right, we know that Iran genuinely did put out something to get him murdered at some point, right? However, I also know that it was really, really convenient that shot missed him by that much.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen most of it. That doesn't happen. And he just happened to move his head at the perfect time? That's a little crazy to me. I'm sorry. The conspiracist in me, the Alex Jones in me, it just says no, you know?
Yeah, that's another thing as well. It's like what Marcus said. He wanted to portray this image of
Strength.
strength, because you know how advantages they are with advanced they are with security and they got and everything. There's no way they missed a sniper.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah, like the Secret Service is one of the most like
Advanced.
like the reputation is one of the most skilled kind of bodyguards in the world.
Yes.
And the fact that they let how old was it, like 19? Like a
Yeah.
teenage sniper
Yes.
get past their defenses somehow or their security. I think that's
And apparently there was like actually footage of, well, there's some people who were filming like the guy climbing up, and apparently they were trying to inform the security about it, but nothing was really done
So
about
some
it.
random dude was recording the guy, and then the Secret Service was like, "Yeah, let him climb, it's alright.
Yeah, let him cook.
Let him cook, bro."
I think one of the crazy things that's happened since the Cold War is we've kind of forgotten that the CIA and Mossad still exist, MI6 still exists. All of these like super like smart intelligence groups who put on these crazy psyops and everything that we know about historically. I think sometimes people just assume these things don't happen anymore, but they definitely do. The question is, can we figure out when it's happening? And that's not to say like this is definitely Mossad, this is definitely CIA, this is definitely MI6. No, this might just be a 19-year-old who is stressed out about his government. But it's fine to ask questions every once in a while.
like,
you know?
see, what's the name of the Kennedy that was running for presidency, but now he's on Trump's cabinet for
Yeah, okay.
health minister or something like that.
RFK.
He openly says his uncle and his father were assassinated by the CIA. Like,
Really?
Of course they
yeah,
were.
JFK and all that. He openly says they were assassinated by the CIA.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
Like, he says that.
Everybody
He's-
knows that.
and so it's just like, if the CIA, which is like in America and apparently under the American government, is assassinating their own president, then anything's possible at this point.
Exactly. And if you find out about like if you ask questions like, oh, where was the Israeli president when JFK was assassinated, people start looking at you like you're crazy, you know? And it's like, all right, fine. Let's say that some random guy somehow managed to get the president of America 2 times in a row. To me, it's unbelievable, but who knows?
Conspiracies.
Look, we might call them conspiracies, but there were some documents. Documents that were they came out from the CIA themselves. Yeah, if you can look them up right now, they came out 60 years later. It was made conspiracy that there was a gun that they used that uses, I can't remember what it was about. It was like some kind of oxygen and something else that you can cause a heart attack.
What?
You can cause a heart attack to a person with that gun, and it will show up as a heart attack. Because when you shoot someone, let's say you remove the bullet or you do something else or you make him choke on something, when you do the autopsy, they're gonna find out how you died. With that gun, it will come up as you died from a heart attack.
Really? And there's no like puncture? Like
nothing. It is like an, I don't know what, I can't remember exactly. It's been a while that I've read it. You can look it up.
Is it like a ray or what's?
Something like that. It's like it shoots like a spike or something, and that spikes dissolves and it causes you the heart attack. And it came 60 years later. It came out as true, as they are actually using it. That they did themselves confirm that they are using that type of gun. So imagine that was like in the 60s or something, like very, very early. Imagine if in the 60s they were using that type of gun. Imagine what they're using right now.
This kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have been seeing those UAP hearings that they've been having on the news recently. I can't remember what UAP stands for, but it's basically the word that they're using to replace UFO, right?
Oh.
And they're saying basically that world governments all over the world have been harboring technology that isn't made by any human government. That's what they said. That's what they said inside of the UAP hearings. These were official state hearings, right? In America, at least. And they said that different governments all over the world have access to these unidentified objects that weren't made by any human government, right? And the claim there for at least two of the people who were at these hearings was that they believed that it was aliens. And then two other people there say that they don't know who it is. My personal belief is that these are just really, really high-tech things that, like, the CIA and Mossad and all of them know about, that we just don't know about, and they don't want us knowing about them. I don't personally believe it's aliens, just because
Anunnaki, bro.
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's just technologies that haven't been revealed to the public.
They do have technology that's not revealed.
Oh,
That's-
yes.
That's a fact, bro. They don't reveal it. The reason they don't reveal the technology, and they reveal it every once in a while, that you see something new revealed out there. It's not because they just came up with it. They probably had that for years in their servers. It's just they reveal that information whenever they believe the world is ready to receive that information. Imagine revealing AI, ChatGPT, and all that stuff 15 years ago. People will go crazy, bro.
Actually, do you remember that video? They actually did make a video in, I think, 2013 or something, an AI Obama video that went really, really viral at the time. And I remember seeing that and thinking, like, this isn't going to be a big deal. 2024 comes around, we're using the exact same AI models.
Yeah.
It's kind of unbelievable how long these things have been around. So yeah, absolutely. These guys have really, really good high-tech stuff that they just don't show us until 10 years later.
They take their time. They make sure that we are ready to comprehend with that technology, and that we will think that it is very common to have that in our days. Because as you said, it's like in 2013 we had this AI video. Most likely people back in the days, they didn't even know that it was AI. They believed that it was an actual video. But nowadays, since we know it's like more common, they released it. No, they didn't release it now. It's been it's 2 years now they've released the AI feature, the AI tools. But that's the thing. In 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're gonna probably release something else that they already have right now, but they're not releasing it because they're waiting for the right moment.
Or they could be using these technologies. Well, they could be releasing these technologies to use it as a cover-up or to distract people from something. It's like a distracting maneuver. Maybe there's something more serious going on, but if you promote that one thing, like, oh, oh, we've discovered like some alien thing, whatever, and it's all over the news, then people are gonna be distracted and they're not gonna pay that much attention towards something.
That's what I think it is. I think that they're coming on the news and then they're saying these are aliens, no question, right? And they're only doing that because they want basically like, okay, let's say for example this is the UK government, right? And a whistleblower from the UK government goes, we have alien technology in our possession, right? And this alien technology is so complex and it could completely destroy our nuclear capabilities and blah, blah, blah. What is the implication of that? Everyone thinks that the implication of that is aliens are real, we're about to have like a big jump in progress or whatever. But what the government is trying to tell you there is we are the weakest species in the solar system. We need to start funding our militaries more in order to protect ourselves from these aliens, right? It seems like a lie that just...
Star Wars.
To me, it seems like a lie that's just there to explain why these different countries are funding their military so much. They're saying it's because they want to fight aliens, when in reality they're trying to fight foreigners. You know what I mean? Who are also called aliens. You know what I mean? But yeah.
It's all distracting, but deeper.
What about you, Marcus? What do you think?
What?
About foreigners and aliens.
Aliens?
Yeah.
I think that right now, I think there are such a thing as aliens, but I think right now.
You mean there's no such thing?
No, I think there is such a thing. But I think right now we might have had some sort of contact with them, but I just don't think anything major is going to happen for a while.
The aliens just don't think that we're ready.
Enough.
Yeah, that we're not worthy.
Think if there is aliens, there's one of two options. And they know about us. They are just as advanced as us, or they're much more advanced. And if they're much more advanced, I don't really think they would see us as a threat. I think the only thing they really see like as a threat is maybe like the nuclear capabilities. But other than that, I don't really think if they're so much more advanced, then I don't really see why we'd be that much of a threat to them.
Guys, do you think you guys probably believe aliens exist, but do you think it's a common occurrence? Do you think there's like many planets that are inhabited?
Yes.
We're definitely not the only ones.
Since we are here, there's supposed to be other than us. It cannot be just us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's two options. There is other ones, or there's not. If there's not, that's pretty scary. If there is, that's pretty scary. You know. Either way.
Both options are scary.
Huh?
Well, either way, scary.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're all alone.
Mm-hmm.
We're just a speck in the only living things in this bag of like we're a speck of, like I said, a bit of sand in a bag full of sand, and we're the only ones that have some sort of life on us.
Oh yes.
That's crazy. That is like actually crazy. That is scary to think about. And then like the other civilizations, there's definitely more than one. There must be.
Oh, definitely.
Looking at the size of our universe, there's definitely more than one.
It's very parallel universe.
Yeah, so it's just, and to be honest, in recent years there has been a lot more talk. I think like there was something recently. It was like a star that has something like revolving around it, and people saw it as potentially as some sort of like solar kind of battery thing. I remember they're talking about
that collects the sun, the energy,
the solar energy, which is like something that isn't too like. I've seen stuff on it before that talks about it being like something that our civilization could do. It's just we're nowhere near as technologically advanced. So the fact that there's a potential civilization out there that has that, you know, it's a bit, that's a bit scary as well.
Or it's like type 1, type 2 civilizations, type 3, 4, 5. It's like the first The first type is we're able to utilize all of the energy sources on Earth.
Yeah.
We're talking winds, the sea. We're able to utilize everything to the maximum capacity. Then I think the second civilization is we're able to
Harness your nearest star.
harness our nearest star, and we're able to inhabit other planets in our solar system.
Yeah.
The third one is we can inhabit. We begin to inhabit other solar systems.
Yeah.
Then comes galaxies. Then comes
We're going to Mars.
We're already on Mars. We're on Mars and Venus right now.
oh
Oh, not people, obviously, the rovers, but still.
Mars. On Mars, yes, but Venus.
Colonization, you know, like.
But Venus, we don't have anything on Venus.
We have a rover on Venus.
One was sent, and there's a photo from in Venus, which
yeah.
was made by the Soviet Union. But the actual rover or whatever that was sent there only survived for 40 minutes.
Yeah, the radiation is.
Bruh.
Hey, 40 minutes is a lot to me, man.
Radiation,
40 minutes.
40 minutes is a lot to me, man. I don't know about you guys.
acid rain,
Yeah.
because it sulfur the actual content of the air is like very sulfurous.
Yeah.
The temperature is high,
Mm-hmm.
so
the rover they sent was like very, very. It was like pretty advanced in terms of like the defense of a rover.
Mhm.
Have we been in the moon?
Yeah.
oh,
There you go.
See, here, okay, the thing is, right, I believe we've been on the moon, but I think it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Okay? What have we actually gained from going to the moon
Yeah,
versus
right.
what have we gained from going to space, right? Going to space was cool because we got satellites there, the internet, all that jazz, super, super, super helpful, right? And the moon as a space station is an okay idea, right? But I remember ever since I was in middle school, when people used to tell me that the space race ended when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, I hated that so much because the moon is just a giant rock. You want to tell me the most high-tech race of all of human civilization ended with a guy walking on a rock? No, that's not impressive.
No, but it's not even about the function. It's more to do with the symbolism. Oh, we've managed to land on a different. The moon wouldn't be like planet. No, it's planet-like. Well, another body in space.
Nah, that's story. I mean, like,
It's like a big milestone.
I guess it's cool in a sense, but like I think it's cooler to have, put that rover on Mars. I think it's cooler
Right,
to have
in
put that
60
rover on
years,
Venus. I think all that's way cooler to me than walking on the moon. It's interesting, but
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
how do you end a race by walking? You know what I mean? That's proof to me that that's just nonsense. It's propaganda, But I do believe it happened.
I have another question. Whenever we leave our atmosphere, we begin to be exposed to the sun's radiation, because before that we are shielded by the Earth's magnetic field. But what happens whenever we leave it? We're exposed to all the alpha and gamma radiation from the sun,
We never left it.
unfiltered.
Come on.
You can't leave it.
Come
And
on, tell us.
And apparently, to be able to block these rays, you need like a solid 1 meter block of concrete to be able to even mildly block it.
I'm not sure if that's true, man.
No, the radiation can pierce through very deeply.
There should be they already have figured that out, right? It's not we just don't know because we haven't actually looked into it. There is probably information out there that answers the question, and it is very accessible. We just haven't looked into it. I mean, when you never studied about something, you might think that it's not possible, but the moment you look it up, then you'll see. If we look it up right now, it's probably gonna be on the first. It's gonna be the first thing that's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
How do they
Avoid radiation
avoid it?
poisoning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some type of
I don't know.
Lining.
lining that they're using. I mean, you've seen what those. There was a new telescope. Not telescope. What was it? Like a thing that they sent into
recently or
Yeah, recently.
the
40
James Webb telescope? No,
Yeah, I think that one.
the new one.
That was sent out just to wander around in the universe.
Oh no! Oh, that's the Voyager.
I think so. I can't
Voyager
remember the
1,
name.
Voyager 2.
That was sent out to, and they used some type of a very expensive liner on it,
Mhm.
like gold color. I don't know what it was made of. I can't remember. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
it will help. I can't remember what was it about.
Oh, like
When I read
the-
about it, it was like
Gold, the actual surface.
yeah,
well,
the surface was
yeah.
type of
yeah. Apparently, like that way the sun can push.
yeah. See that? So they made up a thing that will push the telescope by the sun rays.
Mhm.
So if there's something they have come up with.
Oh,
something,
yes.
yeah, they got too much money and time.
Sorry, Jason. Before we move forward, would you like to share the mic simply because maybe the sound will be better because this mic just doesn't seem to be functioning. Go on, Jordan. I'll turn this mic off. That way you can guys share. That way the sound will be.
Hey, Marcus.
Oh,
Jason.
that's way better. Way better. Oh god, the world is weird.
Indeed. I believe still, I think the conclusion on the moon thing is we all believe in the moon landing. It's
Mhm.
just, yeesh, man, there's some weird stuff going on over there. It's a wacky story to hear.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys, do you think that infinity exists? Like the whole concept. You know the way when you look out into the sky, do you think it ever ends? Do you think it's never stops?
It never stops now.
No.
I don't think it stops.
Yeah. Infinity just means things that never end.
It's a
right?
concept. It's
And
just-
yeah, it's a concept. And if infinity is like a, I don't know what the word is, but it's like a self-fulfilling concept, right?
Mhm.
We created the concept of infinity, therefore infinity has to exist. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. Like conceptually, because it exists as a concept, there has to be something that matches that. Be it God, be it time, be it color or whatever. There's an infinite spectrum of colors, for example, right? There's an infinite lifetime to whatever gods people believe in. There's an infinite number of numbers, right? The fact that we invented the concept of infinity means infinity has to exist. That's my personal opinion. The only
Mhm.
question is like whether or not the universe is infinite, in which case,
Mhm.
no. But, you know,
You don't think the universe is infinite?
no.
You don't think so? You think there's a barrier somewhere?
I think anything that has a beginning has an end. So you can't have an infinite universe.
But I feel like we're the ones that have created this concept of beginning and end.
In the beginning.
But on the grand scale of the universe, I don't think there is such a concept of beginning and ends. May I ask you, where are we? Are we at the beginning or are we at the end?
We're in the middle somewhere, right? The
How do you make this assertion?
the reason we know that there is a beginning to the universe is because of the Big Bang, right? There was a singularity and then the bang, right? That singularity was a finite point. That's the reason they call it a singularity, right? It
Mhm.
is singular, right? Therefore, if it expands, it can't. A singularity that is finite can't expand infinitely. That's antithetical to the concept, right? So it has. I'm so sorry. So
You're fine.
I think that the universe has to be finite. There's no other option unless we're wrong about the Big Bang. That's my position.
I think that before the Big Bang, there was just an infinitely large void, and then once the Big Bang happened, there was an energy that filled the void a little bit, and then because there's so much of it, it started to expand. And I don't see that void before the beginning having an end. So if there's something filling that void and it's got nothing to stop it, then I don't see how it can end.
If the void is infinite,
Yeah.
how can it be filled?
How can it be filled?
If you have an infinitely large bottle, how much water does it take to fill that bottle of water? Of
That's
that
what I'm saying,
bottle
the
of
Unlimited.
water.
energy. that energy is infinite. Like it doesn't stop growing. That's the argument of like space. Like it continues to grow and it continues to expand. So it's like you have an infinitely large bottle with an infinitely running stream of water. That's like how I think about it.
I think of it as like there's this molecule that has all of the water in the universe. There's a tiny, tiny molecule that has all of the water in the universe. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a photon, right? And you drop it inside of an infinitely large bottle. And then immediately, once you drop it into the bottle that's infinitely large, it starts expanding. The problem is you had that molecule. If the molecule could fit into something that small, then it couldn't have been infinite, because infinite can't fit into things. Infinite, right? It can't fit into anything, right? And so for me, because there was a point where there was an infinite void and a finite object, which was the singularity that caused the Big Bang, right? I think it's like, to say that finite point is also infinite, it's kind of ignoring the fact that it's still a point, it's still a singularity, no matter what. And there's an infinite space outside. There has to be a differentiation between the infinite space outside and the singular point. And I think that differentiation is the singular point's finiteness, right? There's a reason why the universe creates. It doesn't just expand, it creates. There's new stars being born, new planets being born, new asteroids, new everything, all the time, right? The universe creates to fill up the space, right? But that means that the universe is growing. It doesn't mean that the universe is infinite. It just has infinite space to grow.
I feel like, I'll reword it, I think that the universe is like not an infinite stream, but an infinitely growing pool of water. So like it started small, like it was enough, it was finite, it had a some sort of start, but I don't think it's impossible for something that had a beginning to become an infinite. I don't know, it's like, it's weird, like, obviously it doesn't really make any sense because infinite means it's always existed,
Right.
but it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I just think that there's no, I don't think there's a barrier, and for some reason the Earth is gonna like stop, be like, you know what, I'm gonna go back, I can't, you know, there's nothing out here, I'm just go back to where I came from. It just comes back and back and back and back. But then again, there's that theory where the universe will stop expanding, it'll come back in itself, and it'll cause it'll just explode again.
Exactly, yeah.
There's that, but it's like, you can make the argument that in itself is infinite. That
Loop is infinite.
loop is infinite.
Yeah, I'd agree that the loop is infinite. My only claim would be like, so in that regard, I would say like time, for example. Someone could argue that that's infinite. Someone could argue that, you know, something like God is infinite. But the only reason that these things work is because time doesn't really have a beginning conceptually. We don't really understand how time works, right? And the same thing applies to other like divine or extra natural things like God and magic and things like that, right? I just think like, also the other thing with infinite is that it has to extend on both ends. It can't just extend from one point going onwards, right? It has to be going backwards as well. That's the whole point of something being infinite. It has to be constantly expanding on both ends. The universe doesn't expand on both ends, right? It has a point that it started at and it just kept going. It doesn't go back past before that point, so it can't be infinite.
Speak again.
About what?
No, just for a moment the sound
was weird.
The sound was gone, so it's the wire.
Time check.
W.
I have a quote about infinity. Infinity is a journey, not a destination.
Got that from Buzz Lightyear. Come on now.
Poetic.
Come on now.
So, to us, regardless how far we go out, we will never reach the end. Therefore, what we can perceive as humanity, that would be finite to us. But anything that is outside of that, I don't think there is. Like, infinity does exist, but again, how much of it can we actually perceive? From that perspective, yes, it could. To a certain point, it's finite for us. But overall, it's infinite. Because we can go through an endless advancement in technology, and we can create even more powerful telescopes that will be able to look even further into the universe, but we'll never reach an end. And perhaps even if we create, like, in the very, very far future, a teleportation device where if you point to a specific location, that's where you're going to end up. So if we create that and we point it towards the sky, into infinity, as a matter of fact, we're not gonna. What do you think? What if you point a gun, well, a teleportation gun, where you can teleport you to anywhere you like? If you point it into infinity, what will happen? Because infinity doesn't have an end, but the teleportation can instantly get you to any location, regardless of how far it is. We'd just be in just an endless space of darkness, because there's no, like, where...
Maybe that's what a black hole is.
We're teleporting into nothing.
Maybe that's what a black hole is. Like, that's the destination of infinity, right? Because it has an infinite amount of gravitational pull, a near infinite amount of gravitational pull pulling you down and everything. And all that happens to you is your atoms get spread out across the black hole. So I'd imagine you just get spread out across the black hole. You just get spread out across the universe in like a red mist, you know?
Oh, God. Oh, yes, because whenever you get spaghettified, that's what it's called. You get essentially stretched until, stretched until you're literally one atom. Like...
But there's new evidence that shows things that get swallowed by a black hole also get spat back out. They're just not the same. It's not in its full form. It's kind of
oh, God, it's
like its essence, kind of like there's a, I don't know if it was a star. I think it was a star. A black hole swallowed a star like years ago, and then they saw that it had been kind of regurgitating the star's kind of, I don't know, stuff. So I'm like, but I've also heard that if you were to fall into a black hole or get pulled into a black hole and you were to look back out of it, you see the universe end, which I think would be kind of cool. I think that's a cool way to go, but it's like, I don't know, it seems fun. No, I'm not gonna lie.
So it's like
seems fun.
It's like an SMS message. So you get pulled in, stretched out, and then you're getting regurgitated out in some form.
Like the essence of the star or whatever got regurgitated.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's like it's like kind of like they're living beings, you know. They're swallowing stuff, eating it, and then spitting it back out. But back to your question about, like, if you were to point something like a teleportation device.
Into infinity.
If I was to go like point to the sky.
Literally,
right?
yeah.
It's gonna end up some steroid.
I know what I'd see.
What do you think?
If I was to go to the very, very edge of the universe,
where
the universe hadn't, like, expanded to yet, I'd, like, see Cthulhu or something like that, bro.
Say what?
I'd see an eldritch god or something like that.
A god.
It's not an eldritch god.
Eldritch god.
Yeah.
I wonder
like
what you would talk to him about, though. What would you talk to an eldritch god about at the edge of the universe?
Like, sup, bro.
Sup, bro. Yeah.
Nice place you
So
got
you
here.
gotta speak English as well.
Of course he speaks English, man. Come on. Seriously. Coming into my country, not speaking my language? Gosh darn it. This is the universe. Come on. Unless you're some kind of illegal immigrant or something. Sorry.
All these questions are really nice to talk about, think about them, but
Jason,
we ain't got time for that, man.
Jason, what would you like to talk about?
I'm not saying we should not.
Yeah. I know what you mean. That's the
We're never gonna find the answers for that.
Yeah, we're not gonna find out.
Because our time on Earth is like really.
But yeah.
Maybe our offsprings might, but.
Oh no.
So what questions do you think you have the answers to then?
Labor Lloyd.
Oh god, it's the deadline is today, isn't it?
Yeah. I heard Bryce hasn't finished yet.
I finished it. I just haven't uploaded it yet. There's a difference.
Yeah, so
Please.
you're failing?
Wait, you haven't uploaded yet?
No.
When are you intending to upload it? Because it's due today.
Literally within like the moment that we get out of here, I'll open my laptop, look
Yeah.
through it one more time, and then I'll upload it.
And
I
then
like giving myself every single minute that I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I want to double check it every single time, but because I hate it when I come back to an essay or an exam or something, and my excuse is I didn't double check it. That's the most insane reason to be in trouble for something like that. That's
what if
absurd.
your laptop just dies? Like,
I have it on my phone too, so it's fine.
yeah, what if your phone dies as well? Like,
My phone and my laptop.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
the-
cry. What else do you cry?
Well, you can run to the library.
That's
you
true
can
too.
you can log on to the computers there.
what
That's
if they
true too.
die as well?
Oh, but you don't have access to your files there.
I do. It's all in the cloud, man. That's the reason I'm not
right,
stressed
okay.
about any of this. Like, if it was only on my laptop, I probably would be a little more anxious. But because I have it in so many different places, it's already perfectly
Yeah.
done. I have like my timestamps on it, so if they were to look at the essay right now, they would know that I finished it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not presume that the university is reasonable, so I'll be reasonable. You know what I mean? And I'll just
Yeah.
take my time.
That cloud has saved our lives, innit?
On God. On God.
For real.
For real.
For really.
Okay.
Oh god.
Guys, I'd like to change the topic a bit and ask you, what sort of music guys do you listen to? What sort of genre?
Kanye West.
Kanye
Okay,
West.
let's start there.
What type of genre is that?
Is he even up here? He's not even on the poster, man.
He is, bro.
This
This is
is-
Nicki Minaj.
With the MAGA hats and everything. Okay.
Oh my
They
days.
picked the one
Oh my
bad
days.
picture of him. That's actually disrespectful.
Well,
Someone needs to sort that out.
that's
But
your gold. You didn't even recognize your gold. Oh my god.
To be fair, no one recognizes him when he's wearing the red hats, man. It's
I
not-
do. I do.
Yeah, but like,
Reminds me of Mark.
What? Anyway, back to the question. I listen to every single type of music there is.
All genres.
All genres.
Everything.
Every single genre.
So from classical to what? Goth?
Sure.
Alright.
man, come on, put on some MCR, huh?
Some MCR.
Alright, you don't know. You don't know.
Actually,
Anyone who's listening,
I
they know.
just- I
Anyone
just
who
don't-
knows goth and emo music, they know exactly what I,
I just
said.
don't think right now is the right time to play MCR, bro.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking if that's what you're into.
I don't mind anything.
All right, cool.
As long as it's good.
You guys listen to rap?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All the time.
all the way, all the way.
One of my favorite genres.
It is either one or two on my phone.
If I had to listen to one for the rest of my life, it'll be rap.
Oh gosh.
Rap?
Yeah.
I think it's the most versatile of all of the genres, right? You can find rock music there. You can find jazz, classical. You can find cowboy music. Cowboy. You can find country music in there too, right?
Cowboy.
You can find cowboy music. You can find anything in there, you know. So I think like it. I think anyone who says that they don't like hip hop or anyone who says that they don't like rap, you might just not like listening to people talk.
Do you know what?
Hmm.
One of my teachers in Greece, it was a tutor actually, not a teacher. He really loves music. And he said once to me, he didn't really listen to rap, he just listened a bit. He said though that if you don't like a specific type of genre, it means that you don't like music at all. Because if you like music, you appreciate any type of music. You might not listen to it, you might not listen to rap, for example, but you appreciate that it is still a type of music. It is another way to express yourself. It's a way to express what you feel, or you want to do that kind of music, then it is a way of music. Even if you don't agree with it, if you don't like what they say in their music or whatever, it is still a type of music. I might not like country music, but it's still a type of genre that it's out there that represents people, and it lets some people express themselves. So if you like music, if you really like music and you love music and you respect music, then you respect every type of genre, even if you don't listen it.
So,
Fact.
love, no hate.
No, hey, yeah.
For real.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of this guy I saw on Twitter who said any guy who says that he likes women but isn't into like who doesn't have like a foot fetish or whatever.
Yeah.
He said that those people are all gay. And that's kind of what that reminds me of, and I'm not sure why exactly. Like, he was saying basically like if you don't like every single aspect of a person, if you're like a gay guy who doesn't like every single aspect of a man, then you're not gay. If you're a straight man who doesn't like every single aspect of women,
You're not straight.
you're not straight, you know? Which is like the craziest thing to me. But I do agree with the sentiment of what that guy was saying though. Not the Twitter guy, yeah, teacher. But yeah.
So you need to love the full thing rather than just specific.
Sometimes.
You can love the specific. If you want to listen to classical music all day long, then that's the only way you can express yourself, and that's the only music you like. Then that's what you're gonna listen to. You don't need to listen to anything else, but you have to respect and accept that there are other ways of doing music and people expressing themselves. So it's not just classical music, or it's just not rap, or it's not just country music, or whatever music it's out there because you like it. And you say like, oh, why are you listening to rap? It doesn't make any sense. They're talking about guns, they're talking about this, they're talking about... Fair enough, yeah, they're talking about that, but that's how they want to express themselves. It's still a type of expression.
Art.
Art, exactly.
As if like country music wasn't talking about guns and all that same stuff for most of human history, or any other genre of music, pop music and everything. They were talking about all the exact same things. Metal music talks about all the exact same things, right? But people, I remember Ben Shapiro, he got really controversial because he said that he didn't think that hip hop was a genre of music. He thought it was just people talking into a mic, like a podcast basically. But he said that it didn't have like the basic elements of human music. And I'm like, oh, that guy's just lost his mind.
So that guy disrespecting the whole poster right there.
The whole poster, man, crazy. Well, I'm sure that his opinions, actually no, he probably still hates Kanye West. Yeah, no, he doesn't like a single person on there. Except maybe Eminem, maybe.
Guys, so what do you... new school or old school?
Both.
Middle.
Middle?
Yeah, either or.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy thing to
I
say.
know. But like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean, all of those guys. Big Sean's my favorite rapper of all time. Like Big Sean, J. Cole, Nicki Minaj, you know, No Name, all of them types. Like those are my favorites. Anyone who's like 30 and above, basically. Between the ages of 30 and 40, I'd say those are like the best rappers of all time.
50 Cent, bro.
50, aye.
How do you call the rap song with Kanye West and Jay-Z?
Oh my days.
They have a
bro.
whole album.
No, just one song is specific.
That
No, I'm not sure which one you're referring to, dog. There's a whole album. There's actually like several songs.
It's just that I don't think I can actually say the name of it.
So, if you know what the name is, why would you ask?
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird, man.
What?
Who else is
Lil Durk.
Lil Durk. Lil Durk is on there. That's actually kind of crazy.
Why did they have Lil Durk on there?
What about
I know.
Yeet?
Yeet is not. I
No,
like
it's not.
Yeet.
Yeah, I
Actually.
like Yeet
He's
as
not-
well.
I like Yeet.
And I like Destroy Lonely as well.
Destroy Lonely bangs.
Wait,
That's so
what's
good.
the name of this guy over Post Malone on the left?
Childish Gambino. Oh, Childish Gambino.
Yeah, Charles Gambino. Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Now he's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awaken My Love, one of the greatest albums I've ever listened to. Not a rap album, but you know, so cool.
Biggie. I don't. I just like the flow of the old school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love their flow. Like Biggie,
Tupac.
Tupac.
Mhm.
Easy.
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 Yeah, Ice Cube is on there too.
Ice
Dr.
Cube.
Dre.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Yes.
My only thing with those guys is every time I look at them now, I think about Diddy, unfortunately. No, I'm being so serious, right? Because like all of these guys were really, not all of them obviously, but like a lot of them were really close friends with Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Until literally like 2 weeks ago, you know? And to me, I have a hard time believing that none of them knew. Some of them for sure had an idea, with the exception of like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and them, all the NWA people and Tupac, right? They probably knew, but like also didn't like Diddy, so they're fine. But then you look at people like Biggie, you look at people like Mace, you look at all of those guys. They were friends with Diddy.
Yeah.
You know, Jay-Z, he was friends with Diddy. You know, so
Best friends, actually.
best friends. Yeah.
Best friends. Oh,
Crazy world we live in.
Crazy world.
oh yeah, definitely. We need to keep ourselves safe.
Keep ourselves.
Yeah. So we have a lecture at 12. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So, my dear and amazing friends, this was a bit shorter, but nonetheless, it was a very, very packed conversation full of different topics. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all on our next episode.